My name is Ashley Collins. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Breakup Diaries. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being present. Thank you so much for taking the time to view my content in general. I really appreciate that. I know you could be anywhere else in the world right now watching anything else, yet you chose to view this one, and I appreciate that. It's my first book review. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to calm my tone down. I've noticed watching my videos that, like, I yell a lot unnecessarily, and I'm like, I don't do it on purpose because I know like there's a mic in the camera, but it's like that's just my volume, that's just my tone naturally in life. Okay, so first book review. The book is called The Inkless and the Inked by B. John Gully. Got some other shout outs to do. It's an audiobook, first off, which it's my first ever audiobook that I've ever listened to, and I was really worried because I'm a very scatterbrain kind of person sometimes, and I was worried that if I would be listening to it that I'd be doing other things, but like I was so fixated, and it felt like I was literally like sitting down looking out the window like, oh god, I can picture this, I can see this, I can vision this. So if you've never done audiobook before, I would highly encourage you to try it because it's so cool. It's so cool. And plus, you know, you get to save on paper, which is very helpful right now for the environment. Okay, so it is narrated by Jack J. Braun, whose voice was so soothing. It was so soothing and so hypnotizing. He could narrate a microwave meal, and I'd be like, yeah, tell me more about like this spaghetti, you know? So like really good on that. The music is very soothing by Kristen Kettles. I can't read my handwriting. By Kristen Kettles. And the artwork, the main artwork, which is on my thumbnail, is by Joe Fries. So let's get into the book. First off, spoiler alert. There will be spoilers. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't like spoilers before they read or see something, pause this video, listen to the audio. It's only an hour and a half. Time just flew by when I was listening to it. So pause this video, listen to the book, and then come back for the review. Or you can skip towards the end so you can get my overall review of the book. Okay, so we're going to start off with the main characters are Mark and Alice. And I'm in love with both of the characters. They're so vulnerable and so humorous and so just... It's amazing how he was able to capture these people that you can only get a glimpse of for an hour and a half. So I immediately fell in love with them right away. So Mark has sleeves. One side of his arm is different things, and the other one is like blacked out. And Alice always wants to know, why is your arm blacked out? But he won't tell her, and then they'll get into a little fight, but like they'll eventually get over it. And the book is broken up into 4 different parts, and on the first part, you definitely get a strong sense of the love these two have for each other. They're very playful. He gets distracted while she's talking because like he's just like, God, she's so beautiful, which is like, oh my God, I wish I had someone like, where's my Mark? You know? And so yeah, so they have their own separate apartments. And she says that she's going to go to her apartment to go to sleep. And he's like, okay, cool. And then we go into part 2. And this is where we get into the spoilers, okay, guys? Well, also, there's a summary of that on the SoundCloud. And I'm going to link the SoundCloud below in the description, okay? So he wakes up the next morning to his phone ringing. And it's Alice's father. And she has killed herself. She has died. And he drives over to her apartment to get some of her things. And this is where I verbally said, what the fuck? He walked into the door and she was in the kitchen. She was just in the kitchen. And he's like, what's going on? Like, is this a trick? Are you guys playing a joke on me? And she goes outside and her father is walking into the house and she falls. And then we realize that no one can see Alice but Mark. And she has to confront the fact she's having a very hard time coming to grips with the fact that she's dead. But like she's there, she can feel herself, she can see herself, and she can hear people. And so later on, they go home and like they hold each other, and he's like, I can't believe that you're here, but you're not here. And she's like, oh, I'm a ghost. And he's like, no, I think that I'm just grieving. he thinks that he's just grieving and he needs to cope with the fact that she's not there. So the next day, there's a quick turnaround for the funeral, but it's a book, so like there's a quick turnaround for the funeral. The next day they're going to the funeral, and he is certain that as soon as he sees her body, that this image, this ghost of her, is going to go away. And there's some moments where like he's talking to her, but then he's talking to the family. And what I do like is that during the funeral, everyone is making sure that he's okay. Because since they were such a strong couple, they've been together for years, they want to make sure that he's coping with it. Okay, and they're always checking in on him, which I think is very beautiful. So he goes up to the coffin to see her, but he can't. Everyone else can see her in the coffin except for him. And she can't see herself either. And throughout this, she starts to feel a little less of herself as well. And he also starts to notice that like he went to go grab her hand, but like it was like very light. It was a very light touch. Okay, so they have a little fight in the bathroom, and then his best friend, whose name was Dennis, who's an asshole. He's a complete asshole. He's a dick. They go outside for a smoke, and Dennis says, "Man, I can't believe she did that to you. I can't believe she would do something so selfish." And Alice gets very upset, and then Mark gets very pissed off as well, and they leave the funeral. I'm gonna pause and look at my notes for a second because I want to make sure I touch on everything. Oh my god, there's this one part during the funeral where Alice's aunt tries to set him up with a girl, and I'm like, honey, really bad timing. Very bad timing, honey. You don't try to hook someone up at the day of the funeral, you know? I thought that was a little humorous. Okay, so they're driving anywhere. Actually, they just left the funeral, and she says that Dennis is right. It was selfish of me to take my own life, and Mark was like, no, don't listen to him. Dennis is a fucking dick. Dennis is an asshole. Please look at me. And she can't because her eyes have become black. So she's lost her vision. She's lost her sight. And as the reader or the listener, we start to notice that she's fading away. And Mark is watching her fade away, and she's feeling herself start to fade away. So they go back to their apartment, to his apartment, and he's holding her in bed, or holding what he can of her. And he tells her about his tattoos. And he said that there was no reason for the tattoos other than that he wanted to feel something. He wanted to feel some kind of pain. So that's why his arm is blacked out. He said, and I'm quoting, he just wanted it to hurt. And I'm going to rewind a little bit. While they're laying in bed, she says that she's felt this way for a long time. She's felt like taking her life for a long time, but she never did because she couldn't imagine a life without Mark. And she doesn't remember why she did it, but she did it. And it's such a tender moment because they realize that their love for each other was so strong for each other, but their love for themselves wasn't as strong. It wasn't strong enough to keep them here. And Mark falls asleep, but he goes to reach for his sleeping pills, and he wakes up in the morning and he realizes that the sleeping pills is empty. And then plot twist, Alice comes rushing into the house, and it's like it never happened. And I'm still so uncertain about the ending because I'm wondering, did she actually kill herself? Did it really happen, or was it all a dream? Or did he succeed in killing himself, and now they're going to be in this place, this in-between place together? And I'd love to know what you guys thought of the ending. What did you think? Or am I being too romantic about it? You know, like, like, did was it really all a dream? And yeah, I'd love to know in the comments below what you guys thought of the ending. How did you interpret it? What did you think of the book? And I couldn't help but see myself through Alice on my attempts on my life. And I can definitely understand where Mark is coming from, where you just wanted to feel anything. I remember when I, and forgive me if this is a trigger for anyone, I remember when I self-harmed, I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel pain. It didn't, like, it stung, but it wasn't the kind of pain that I was searching for. It wasn't the kind of pain that I was wanting. And I never considered how me taking my life would affect the people around me. Honestly, I think a lot that no one would care, you know? I think a lot that if I disappeared, no one would notice, you know? I don't know if you saw the movie 127 Hours, but is there a certain amount of time before someone can, like, classify you as your body as missing if you go missing? And I think to myself, how long would someone notice if I disappeared? So yeah, it reminds me of a quote from the BBC TV show Sherlock, where he says, "Your life is not your own. Your life is not yours, so keep your hands off of it. Don't touch it. Your life is connected to everyone else around you. And if you left, if you went missing, someone would notice, and it would hurt them, and it would tear them apart." So it's very important that we're here for each other, that we're there for each other, because when people are alone in their house, in their bathroom, getting dressed, they have no one to turn to but themselves. And I don't know where I was going with that, but it's just so important to be mindful to love each other as much as we can now and not later. I love this. Oh God, I love this book so much. Oh my God. 20 out of 10 fucking stars. Just, I hope to one day, the way that he describes looking at her, like, I hope to one day find someone who looks at me and who admires me as much as Mark admires Alice. So I hope that you guys definitely check out the book. It's free on SoundCloud. Give him some love. Thank you for creating this wonderful masterpiece, and I hope more people read it / listen to it. Thank you guys so much. If you want to see some more content from me, you can totally add me on Instagram, which is the Aunt of Dragons. Forgot the handle for a second. Or you can add me on Twitter, which is the Aunt of Dragon, singular, not plural. But if you type in the Aunt of Dragon, like, I'm the only one there. It's the only one that's gonna pop up. Or you can add me on Facebook, which my name is Ashley Collins. That's my real name. Don't forget it. Bye. Thank you guys so much. If you want me to do more book reviews, definitely let me know. I hope this was entertaining and educational and uplifting. And okay, and bye. I'm struggling here. Bye.